Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is JLeesCorner. This is another quick little chit chat of the gossip of the foolishness that is going on in these YouTube streets. They got us YouTubers busy, honey. They know we got full time jobs too. Girl, anyway, let's get into the foolishness surrounding Married to Medicine. But first things first, do not forget to subscribe to my channel to become a whole JayBird, dun, and all that goodness and stuff. Do not forget to also like this video because it helps you to share our stuff. So like the video. You can also comment in the comment section. Even hitting that share button to share my content on your social media is always appreciated. Do not forget to relax, to relate, to release, to center yourself and everyone around you because it's just the right thing to do or whatever, okay? You can also always inhale and exhale, okay? Just stay calm, cool, and collected and whatnot, okay? And also follow me on social media at J_Lees_Corner. Bam is up there. Also, the link to everything is in the description box below every single video. Okay, so we seen the ladies of Married to Medicine, out here in these streets fussing amongst each other on social media via IG Live and via YouTube. Okay, now we know that Heavenly has her own YouTube channel, and every week after each episode of the show, Heavenly goes live. I think it's usually the following day. I don't think she's ever went live that night, but I believe like the following day she would do a live and she would talk about what happened on the show, what we did not see on the show, and how she's really feeling about people. And she's been doing this, I believe, since at least I think it's last season is when she started doing this. Okay, so yeah, she has her own whole YouTube page. Well, Lisa Nicole and Simone and Carrie went live on each of their own ID pages, okay? And they was unhappy. I don't have Carrie up here because my Carrie don't really matter because she didn't say much. Anyway, but again, Lisa Nicole, Simone, and Carrie was on their IG lives all together at Lisa Nicole's house going live about the show, okay? Now we know in that episode we seen Simone say about Lisa Nicole that she's a whole fraud. Okay, she does shady business or whatever, and she is on some mega bull shady or whatever. Okay, Simone said that, and on the live they had a whole conversation. Okay, she brought up how I was mad at Lisa Nicole at that point in time or whatever. That's why I call her a shady crook. That's why I said her lab was shady, a shady situation or whatever. And I can now say I'm sorry. I am sorry. I didn't mean it. I said it on camera. I said it on camera in the confessional. Okay, how I felt you was being shady and crooked, but that ain't how I feel now. Okay, so I want to say I'm sorry. Now, the part I felt like was, Simone, you saved the news reporting of Lisa Cole being accused of having some kind of fraudulent stuff at her fake ass lab. You saved it, show Cecil. You then sent it to Heavenly, knowing Heavenly would definitely use that and run with it because Heavenly is shady and Heavenly and Lisa Cole do not get along. I couldn't get a better picture of Lisa Cole because she ain't on the show, and so there were not many good pictures of her. Anyway, so that's all I can find. Anyway, but again, I'm like, Simone was shady and telling Heavenly about it. Cause so to make it seem as if I was upset at one point, no, you was upset and you was being messy and shady. But to act like, okay, but now it's Heavenly being the shady one. I don't really believe that. And we know Heavenly is messy. She causes mess on the show. But you can't then want to backtrack and make it seem as if even though you were being shady, Lisa Nicole, you should say sorry to me. Y'all should forgive me because I didn't mean it. Bad, Simone. Anyway, so Lisa Nicole is still trying to say, well, the COVID testing, we were collecting about 8,000 samples, within a time frame, whatever. And even though we did not have the equipment to test those samples, we kept getting more. I'm like, so you're going to keep telling us the same thing Heavenly was saying. You had a lab that you were running as a COVID testing site. You did not have equipment to do any COVID testing. Okay, there was no equipment to do any COVID testing, but you were still billing yourself and looking at yourself as a COVID testing site. That's shady because that's not what you were doing. Okay, and it was delays. Everyone had delays, but everyone wasn't on the news though, Lisa Nicole. And no one is saying that you can't have delays. But we also are saying, why would you open up a COVID testing lab location if you did not have the equipment to do the testing? Why would you do that? Okay, it's for the money. Anyway, Lisa Nicole said, because Simone asked her, well, why is it you feel like you and Heavenly don't get along? Well, I feel like because she tried to discredit me. She tried to say it was foolish at my lap, but it was. It was on the news, Lisa Nicole. This isn't something that Heavenly made up. This isn't even something that she heard verbatim from like a stranger. It was on the news. You were questioned by the Attorney General, which means they had to figure out what foolishness you had going on. It was an actual situation that happened. So why are you acting as if she tried to discredit you? No, the news, the people who you tested who didn't get their results, try to figure out why you had a lab that didn't have no equipment. Okay? Okay. Anyway, so she then brings up, Lisa Cole does, how we've all heard things about each other, but we try to not bring it up and repeat it because we all have businesses, okay? And what if I said Heavenly had Medicaid fraud? She'd be pissed. Now, when she said that on that live, Heavenly on her live went off. She went completely off, okay? She was mad. I ain't never had no Medicaid fraud. I don't even bill Medicaid no more. So she was saying all that stuff. It was weird because Lisa Nicole did the exact thing she accused Heavenly of doing, except Heavenly was not the one spreading information. It came from Simone's recorded news conference and her shared link. Heavenly didn't make up that your people was questioning your lab. The news and the Attorney General and the people you tested did. But you saying out loud she could be accused of Medicaid fraud, that's trying to discredit her as a dentist. Okay? You gotta think about this. Logical. And for me, Carrie was there just, I'm gonna take a look at the notes. I'm gonna look at notes. Carrie only thing was I just don't like how Heavenly calls me white lady. I'm looking like, well, I mean that is kind of, you can't do that. But anyway, I'm like, Carrie, go sit down somewhere, go eat your food. So again, Lisa Nicole and Simone, to me, teamed up on this live, okay? Because I'm like, what's going on? Why would you do that? And Simone, like, I just don't like how Heavenly, no, stop, don't you know, I didn't like Heavenly at first, but she grew on me, and we became close. She helped me with great advice when I was going through some tough times, so I can't take that from her. However, when me and Jackie was beefing, you know what I'm saying, she was saying negative things about me publicly, and I don't like that, okay? So we can't be friends how we used to be friends because, again, the things she said about me publicly while me and Jackie was not we're not on good terms. Now, at one point, they did also ask her, well, she also brought up how the things she was saying heavily should have like DM'd her or texted her, whatever. But she didn't say I had her blocked, so she would have gotten through. But she could have at least attempted to contact me publicly, privately to diss me. I'm like, I mean, at this point, playing apples and oranges. So it's who cares? Y'all all be beefing, y'all all be saying shit shady to each other. It's weird to me how they all be doing the same thing and one with the other, but want to be upset. Y'all are upset because Hadley has a YouTube page where she talks about the show, but y'all are on your IG pages talking about the show. Apple me orange, pop me kettle. Okay, you're gonna cook some water and boil it, it makes some tea. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Okay. Anyway, so she also brings no, because somebody asked Simone, well, Heavenly said the commenters were saying, well, Heavenly said that you and Jackie are not even really friends, y'all being fake. What Heavenly actually said was, because I saw it, she said it twice. on two different occasions. She said Simone and Jackie are not back being buddy buddy. Simone and Jackie are both grown enough to be able to coexist and be cordial and be nice to each other and friendly to each other because they're working together, but they're not back to who they used to be. I think that's true. Simone then even said, "Well, me and Jackie have been friends we have been friends for a long time. Things have happened, and we are still getting back to our better place." I'm like, so Heavenly wasn't lying, okay? Heavenly just says things in a way that cuts deep sometimes, because sometimes Heavenly be foul with how she say things. She does. But because I watched a couple of her reviews, it don't really be that bad. She really give us what the network don't want us to see. She give us some real stuff. And it be her opinion. But I'm like, anyone could start a YouTube page. Candy has one when she does speak on it. Nene had one when she was on the show, whatever. People do this. This is what they do now. They figured out it can make them more money. If I sit and talk about my show, y'all could do it too, but just start a YouTube. Y'all was on IG. Y'all can pay for that? Probably not. Anyway, so again, Simone and Lisa both then say we don't like how she come on her show and she talks about us and she speaks about us. I'm like, but y'all are doing the exact same thing right here on IG. You, Lisa Nicole, and Carrie. And when Lisa Nicole tried to say, don't you think Kelly's a bully? Isn't she a bully? And Carrie then said, I think she's a bully. I think Carrie is maybe scared of Emily's wrath. Okay, I'm joking. But anyway, Carrie said, no, I don't think she's a bully. I think that she is mean and she can be mean, but I don't think it's like really a bully, whatever. And when Carrie did not want to follow through with I think she is a bully, you can see Lisa Nicole was like, what? Bitch, you supposed to be on our team. Carrie don't want that smoke. I don't think Carrie wants that smoke. And when Simone then said, well, she says things or whatever, and it can be this, it can be this or that. I also feel like she then said, I think Quad is scared of Heavenly, and that's why Quad and Heavenly patched up their stuff. So I feel like they did that so that Quad could be back on the show. Okay, because Quad went off on her and called her out of her surgery, and she had this and she had that. And on Heavenly's Live, she addressed it. She's like, yes, I had lap band. I think she said lap band, either a lap band or gastric bypass, one of the two. She said lipo. So she said, I have had the same things that Quad accused me of. I've never been ashamed of that. But again, why y'all fucking with me? Why y'all fucking with me? And I'm like, why would you say that Quad is scared of Heavenly? That's gonna be not Heavenly. Quad come after y'all. Girl, be fuck back. So again, it was really Simone and Lisa Nicole trying to go at Heavenly. I can't wait. And again, the reunion has already wrapped, so all of this stuff won't even be really addressed until next season. They've already filmed the reunion. Okay. And she then brought up Simone's laugh. He said how she would not be willing to fix anything with Heavenly until she stops doing content stuff about the show and about them on her YouTube channel. I don't like what she's doing. I don't like her dog on social media. I'm like, but y'all are on social media talking about her. So I'm like, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Microwave meat oven. Okay, heat up some food. It's like you doing the same thing she do. The difference is her platform is bigger than y'all's IG right now. She probably has more people tuning in her YouTube page to see what she say than y'all maybe had on y'all IGs. And is that the issue? That more people see what she's saying about y'all and that pisses y'all off. Get your own platform. It's really, really easy. It's really, really easy. Truth be told, okay? And so I'm like, I just don't like it when they be like, don't do this. But they're doing the exact same thing. You're doing the exact same thing. Y'all trying to do it nicely because Hallie acts like she's perfect, but she isn't. And Hallie even said her own thing. I say my marriage perfect, but it's not. I'll be joking. I say I fuck every time. I fuck my husband every night. I don't. I'll be joking. I say things jokingly, and they know that. So what's the tea? I'm like, honey, I don't know. Okay, but anyway, go. It's only 2 episodes left of the season, and then it's a 2-part reunion. I can't wait to see it. This season wasn't that bad. It also wasn't that good, but again, COVID. Anyway, so we shall see. We're really waiting for Potomac, okay? That's what we're waiting for. Anyway, I am all done. Thank y'all for tuning in. Okay, do not forget to like this video, comment in the comment section, subscribe to my channel, and I will see y'all next time, all the time. Peace.